What's up, everybody? You're back with Text to My Ex. I'm Esmarie, and as you know, it is Super Bowl weekend, and I love me some football, so I was like, why not do some football-inspired shots and drinks for you guys that if you like, you can take this weekend to whatever festivities you're gonna go to watch the game. So for the first one, it's called a tequila touchdown. Y'all know I love my tequila. All you need is a little bit of tequila, some lemon juice, but my little biscuit head daughter used all my lemon juice without telling me that we was out. And then some grenadine and some orange juice. So that one's fairly simple. So we're gonna do a 4 count. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're gonna do, obviously, oh, forgot to open this. Splash. I'm gonna do this as a drink instead of a shot. So we're only gonna do a splash of the grenadine because, as you know, it's very strong. And then I'm gonna just do a splash of the lime juice because it gives it that little bit of acidity that the lemon juice would have done. All right, we're gonna strain. Ooh, that's got like a really pretty color actually. So we're gonna set that aside because like I said, I have 2 more that I'm gonna show you and then I'm gonna taste test them all and I'm gonna tell you which one I like the best. The next one is gonna need a little bit of coconut rum, some orange juice again, some lime juice. This one actually needs lime juice, and then some grenadine. So we're gonna do a 6 count of the coconut rum. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're gonna do a couple. I'm gonna do this one in a shot form. So 6 count of the coconut rum, splash of the orange juice, and then a splash of the lime juice, and splash of the grenadine. Now, if you wanted to do it in a drink form, you're gonna do 1.5 ounces of the Malibu, 1.5 ounces of the orange juice, and 3/4 ounce of the grenadine and the lime juice. So we have these 2 drinks, the tequila touchdown, the 2-point conversion, and now I'm gonna show you how to make the backup quarterback shot. It's a layered shot, so it's a little bit harder to make, but I promise it'll be worth it. All you need is some vanilla vodka, some grenadine, and some pineapple juice. Now, out of the 3 substances, you're gonna wanna put the heaviest on the bottom, which would be the grenadine. So that's gonna be your first layer. All right, so even though with these shot glasses, it's kind of hard to see the layers, I've learned that because I'm like, yo, I do layered shots all the time. Every time I try to do a layered shot, it's the shot glass. I gotta get some new shot glasses. But yeah, you can see how it gets darker and then lighter as we go. All right, so I got my 3 drinks. I'm gonna go ahead and try them. Let's see which one I like the best and the least. It's giving, I don't know what it's giving. It's giving too sweet. We'll see. Cheers. Definitely girly, sweet, fruity. What does it remind me of? I can't think of what it reminds me of. It's not bad though. It's not. I actually thought it was gonna be worse. So it wasn't as bad as I thought. All right, now I'm gonna try the drink. It's refreshing, I like it. Okay, so definitely like this one more than that one. Now let's try this. Cheers. You know we gotta have bloopers every once in a while, right? Oh, I like that. Oh, I like that a lot actually. Hold on, let me get a paper towel. Ah! I threw that shit back way too quick. So we just gonna have multiple bloopers today. Get your, stop it! Get out! Ugh. I threw the shot back. Had to get my cat off the counter. I bopped my head. Anything else you want to throw me today, universe? Just anything else? Anyways. Ow. All right, so out of these 3, I definitely liked the 2-point conversion the best. Then I would say the tequila touchdown and then the backup quarterback. So if you think any of this sounds good to you, go ahead and make it for your friends at Super Bowl Sunday and tell me what you think. And also if you have any other drinks that you would like to see me try or to make on my show, let me know because I'm always down for something new. So I hope you enjoy this football Sunday and let's get to our next text. So now we're here. Welcome back. I know it's been a couple weeks. I had some things going on. I do apologize. I don't ever want to stop doing the weeks that I do. So we're back. And we have a text to an ex. Looks like it's from a female. I don't know who it's to.
But let's find out. You are the epitome of pathetic and a sad excuse of a grown man. Let me remind you of what actually happened between us. You are no victim here in any way, shape, or form. I met you while you were heartbroken and in distress from a previous relationship, and I take responsibility for the fact that I should have left your ass alone then, stating you were depressed and not okay, unable to fold laundry or take care of your apartment. But no, instead, I wasn't fully informed or told the truth about your ex, so I stayed and did nothing but support you. You were in a dark place, and I was your light, remember? Offered you money, helped you doing your laundry, cleaned for you, helped you if you needed food, because that's what you do when someone is mentally struggling. Not judge them and put them down. Since you'll claim this is just bullshit, even though I've not been dishonest once, I'm showing evidence. So odd how I even suggested placing a pin in the dating and still being there for you as a friend. That's how you're supposed to treat people, not shame them for being unwell or going through something. I was not mentally unwell or struggling when I met you. I was grounded and centered. My mental health was thriving. You brought me down. You emotionally exhausted me, creating issues out of nothing, projecting your previous relationship turmoil onto me, and having me be patient and just take it. To have the audacity to state that I need to get a handle on my mental health after everything I've done for you, fuck you. I've literally never felt more disrespected in my life. First, the comment of not placing all your eggs in one basket after I've clearly been choosing you. I've been placing all my eggs with you, been fighting for you and this relationship that you clearly sabotaged because I'll never be hurt. You used me to feel better. You are disgusting, and I never have ever regretted sleeping with someone in my life, but buddy, you're the first. My first absolute regret, and I'd do anything to have never put myself on that stupid ass Facebook group. I hate that I gave you everything and would have done anything for you, but you couldn't even hop a puddle for me. There's no way this was about money. You never spoke to me like this. You never fought for us this way. You obviously don't give a shit about not knowing me or us going our separate ways. I cared so much about your mental health with just meeting you. Here we are now, 6 weeks later, and you supposedly cared so much about me. Where the hell were you when I needed you like you needed me? Why have I not received the same patience and understanding that I provided during your hard times? I have plenty of proof from your relationship with her that you're more than capable. So I'm left to accept that you never, in fact, chose me. You didn't care to show up for me like you did her, which is mind blowing knowing the differences between how I showed up for you and how she never could. It's sick. My presence in your life wasn't worth $1,400, huh? When she blocked you, you lost your mind. Over $1,400? But me being gone is no big deal, right? You would have never said what you said to me to her because all of your eggs were in one basket. You would have went out that back door after her. I can't get over how sick this makes me. I never cared how much you made or about money at all. I had $200 in my account the night that I decided to buy your birthday dinner. Why? Because I saw someone hurting and taken advantage of, and you can't place value on lifting someone up in those times. Money comes and goes. I can't take a dime with me when I die. I only planned our trip financially the way that I did because you painted another lie, making me believe that you were way better off than I was financially. I assumed you made more than me, and you paying more wouldn't have been that big of an ask after everything that we've been through. If I knew the true circumstances, I would have never planned in that fashion. 2 nights prior, we talked about a 5 year plan together. We both seemed to have been intentional and dedicated to the relationship, and then for you to say that you're not placing all your eggs in one basket was the biggest slap in the face. I felt incredibly disrespected, but I still maybe one day could have been cool with you. But to speak ill of my mental health, like that's the reason we didn't work, that it's been a form of hindrance from the beginning, that's foul. And below the belt, after everything I've overlooked and forgave, you have the audacity to pin it on my mental health. Let me place this in a perspective you actually might understand. What if your brother won his battle to cancer, but he gained clinical depression in the process? Then he was told that he needed to get a handle on his mental health before trying to live, trying to love and be loved. Then he needed to be clinically and mentally perfect to be accepted. That is not okay. I, like your brother, am a warrior. Because of my battle, I will stand up for myself and I will not allow you to just get away with thinking that this claim is valid. I fought hard for my life and I still fight every day. Until you've walked in my shoes, you have zero floor to stand on. You are undeserving of the love that I have for you. For words to have held such a weight for me is a joke. Your opinion of me is irrelevant, and you and how you turned out disgust me. I will end with this. I will be joining, I'm not going to say the name of the gym, this gym. Rather, it's there or anywhere else in the world that you may see me, stay away from me. Don't even look at me. I am easily the most loving and kind person until it's taken advantage of, and someone like you thinks they can get away with murder. You're the perfect example of hurt people hurt people. I hate myself that I allowed myself to love someone so deeply who clearly doesn't give a fuck if I'm dead or alive. I hope you share this with everyone and they throw you the pity party that you thrive in. Poor blank, she said his name. Someone really cared and loved me, and I stomped on her heart. Poor me. We had an agreement to not add to each other's hardship. That's one of the many promises that you broke. You said clear as day that you wouldn't hurt me, but you did repeatedly. All you do is victimize yourself and project all your unhealed wounds. You'll never do the work, you'll never change, and you'll never experience a lasting loving relationship. You only have you to blame for that. As for myself, I know my shortcomings. I know that I'm willing to do everything it takes to be better and learn to love correctly. It's funny you said my mental health is so much to deal with, but it definitely didn't hinder me from being the best communicator at 28 that you've ever dated, right? Or hinder me from being the healthiest dating experience you've ever had. The saddest part about realizing that I mean nothing to you is that you won't even care enough to understand the immense pain that you've caused me. Understand this message because I refuse to let you off scot free without standing up for myself. Not that it matters to you, you may not even read it because of how little you care, but the small chance that I get to save the next soul was worth this energy wasted. I will get over you, I will mourn us and move on. I'm young and beautiful with more than enough time to still find real love. But sadly, the same cannot be said for you. I hope that you have the life you deserve and that you stay the fuck away from the women like me. We are all better off without you. Whew, that was a lot. Like she laid into his ass. Oh my god. I probably shouldn't have done that. I probably should have kept that open because that was a lot to read into. But I think I got the gist. Let me just kick back and evaluate this message, right? So first and foremost, what really stuck out to me is that you said 6 weeks. That right there, honey. If you've only been with this person for 6 weeks, I mean, obviously I know that each situation is different and somebody can definitely mind fuck you enough to where 6 weeks feels like an eternity, but it's better 6 weeks than 6 years, right? So move the fuck on. Don't even trip off this person. They only had, thank God, 6 weeks of your life, right? Number two, so it's, the whole hurt people is so fucking real. It is so fucking real. And that's why I think it is so important to heal first before you try to date. I actually saw this meme that I agree with, and it's kind of like a new motto I go by, is like healed people find healed people. So heal first because you're gonna attract that. You know what I mean? Because if you don't pay attention to that, you being a light and you being a healed version of yourself is going to occasionally attract that darkness that needs that light. And I think that's actually been one of the biggest issues in my life personally, is that I have, and I'm not saying this in a cocky way, I'm saying this in a confident way because I know who I am and I take pride in who I am. I've always been a good person. I've always been a light. I've always had empathy. I mean, I am an empath, but that's a whole nother subject. So it's a little bit stronger for me, but I have always felt like, oh, I got to fix the broken wing, or, I got to uplift and I try to save everybody. And I had to learn you can't do that. You just can't, because while you're pouring into them, they're not pouring into you. And then you're left empty and you're like, you can't even help your damn self because you've poured so much into somebody else. So it's important to pay attention to that shit so that you can make sure that you're not a healed person dealing with a hurt person. I'm not saying it's impossible. There are situations where there's someone that is hurt that a healed person kind of helps and then they both build together. I'm not saying it's impossible, but 9 times out of 10, a lot of, depending on the circumstance, a lot of those people, they like that victim mentality. They like being in that broken place. They like the attention. that they get from being that victim. So they don't have an urge to change, and they never want to do the work that it takes to heal, because healing is hard. Healing is very hard. It is hard, and you got to go to some dark places, and you got to accept some things, and you got to self-reflect, and you got to, it's just a lot. So for me, it's like, you got to pay attention to that shit so you're not wasting your time. I also firmly say, like, I'm not going to change who I am, the good, pure part of me. I'm not going to change that because of other people's fuckery. Like, there's always, there's polarity in this lifetime, right? There has to be good with the bad. There has to be bad with the good, So regardless of how good I am to people, right? There's always going to be bitterness in this world, but I'm not going to allow that bitterness to change me. So I wouldn't say, like, not do the things you were doing, because clearly you were just being a good person, and we need more of that in this world, right? This world's kind of going to shit. However, that's where, like, the boundaries come in, and you got to make sure that you're being that good person and that version of your authentic self, but you're setting boundaries to where someone like that can't overly use what you have and drain that light from you and take advantage, right? You can be a good person, but set boundaries. You can be selfish in ways for yourself that is healthy, right? No one else is going to show up for you like you. I even tell my daughter, who's a teenager, I say, even without me, you need to respect and have your boundaries set for yourself against everyone, even me, because you are the top priority to yourself. And then I noticed mental health was talked about a lot. So my opinion on mental health is, it's a little different than maybe the average person, or maybe I'm not the most popular opinion in today's day and age. So you can sit here and have your beliefs on mental health all you want, but that doesn't mean that it's okay for you to invalidate someone's feelings about their mental health, because we can't pretend like mental health isn't a struggle for some people more than others, right? In my opinion, regardless of how you feel about mental health, it's just being a good person, right? I may have difference in opinions on the severity of mental health, but if I see that someone is struggling with mental health, I'm not going to, like, add to that. I'm not going to, like, kick a horse while it's down. To me, that shows a lot about his character if he felt that was appropriate to speak on. That's a very below the belt topic. You can have your issues with somebody, but to talk about something like that, it's very, very, very risky. So yeah, I think that was pretty shitty on his part, and that speaks a lot of his character, and I think that showed you his true colors. And it was probably showing you, like, the universe was like, listen, this just ain't your person. I strongly believe that the universe is going to keep having things happen until you get it through your thick skull, the lesson that they're trying to show you. So the universe was probably trying to send subtle signs, but you weren't getting it. You weren't seeing it. You were just trying to be the good person that you are, right? And then finally it was like, you know what? This is what's going to make her really see that this is not for her. As hard as that is, that's a big thing that I think people need to pay attention to. If you keep ignoring the lessons and the signs, eventually the universe is going to get louder and louder and louder until you can't help but hear what the fuck it's trying to tell you. So I think that's what this case was. And I think that I'm glad you stuck up for yourself. I'm glad that you told him how you felt. I hope that this reaches him. I always hope that these texts reach the people that they want it to get to, right? I know it's going to take a while, but hopefully this channel will blow up big enough to where it will get to. So that's my 2 cents on the entire thing. And I am happy for you that you got out of the situation. You deserve better. You will find better. And hopefully he will heal, Hopefully he'll get to a point in his life where he just decides enough is enough and he wants to heal. But, it is what it is. Some people are stuck in their ways. You said that you were young and you still have a lot of things ahead of you, and that you can't say the same for him. So that takes, that tells me that he might be a little older, and some people at that point, they're just stuck in their ways, but hopefully he will change, and I'm glad that you got out of the situation. So come back for the next text to my ex. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope that this resonated for some of you. And where's yours? That's what I want to know. Cheers.